This is MoloMolo Tech Talk, bringing clarity to technical minds. I'm Dr. PK, and I'm so excited to introduce my new co-host. Her name is
My name is Anele.
Anele. Yay! Awesome. Welcome everybody to MoloMolo Tech Talk. All right, let's get into the pleasantries. Anele, it is exciting to be able to launch this new format of part of the MoloMolo Tech brand, which is called MoloMolo Tech Talk. But before we get into what it's about, I'm sure the audience who doesn't know me or who's tired of me, should I say, but who doesn't know you yet, would like to know a bit more about who Anele is, why she decided to join this old toppy Dr. PK here on a new experiment. So can you tell us a little bit about who you are and basically what you do professionally so that people can get to know you better?
Awesome. Good evening, Dr. PK, and good evening to everyone. It's so nice to finally get started and to meet everyone after weeks of preparation. My name is Anele, as Dr. PK has said, and my background is in communications. I studied journalism. I wanted to be a news anchor, but after that, I changed my mind and decided that I want to actually manage media. So I got into a lot of project management, worked in governments, worked in NPOs, and now I'm just really re-exploring my love for connecting with people, podcasting, because it's something I've always enjoyed. I've always loved doing radio, and I'm particularly very passionate about technology. I love how it impacts the world that we live in, and I think there's so many possibilities. So yeah.
Nice. No, it's really exciting. I mean, just to let everybody know, I think when I was trying to interview different people who will be helping me out on this podcast, I think I immediately connected with Anele. She's incredibly smart and bright and funny, but also has an incredible listening ear, which was one of the comments I gave to her during our interview. And yeah, man, I never looked back. I think, everybody else that I interviewed are always like, yeah, no, let me compare you to Anele. I'm not so sure. I'm just saying, aye, man, you don't know her, but you should. So it's really exciting for us to be able to do this together, Anele. Um, Now, of course, let me get back to the topic at hand. What is MoloMolo Tech Talk? Of course, MoloMolo Tech has another podcast that's been running for over a year called MoloMolo African Tech Stories, where we try and break down different concepts, but it's a bit more formal. So MoloMolo Tech Talk is really about just two individuals who have had completely different professional lives coming together and inviting guests or inviting people who have specific comments or questions for us just to have a chat, man, just to be able to kind of sit down and really just talk in a very casual way about what we love, which is tech, what we love, which is empowerment. I mean, the idea for MoloMolo Tech Talk is just to bring a fresh on LinkedIn of two individuals who are really excited about just letting their voice heard, but also letting people feel welcomed into the conversation around technology and mindset and empowerment that will help us be our best self on a daily basis. So this podcast hopefully will run once a week on a Friday as advertised. So it's a tall ask, but we will try and make it. Both Anele and I have really busy lives, but we are really excited for this new segment. So Anele, I think let's get started in kind of the topic of the day, which is really centered around kind of what do we understand and what we would like to see from this podcast in terms of technology. So I guess my first thoughts would be what are kind of the things that you would love to see when it comes to this podcast or this radio show on technology and your view on technology in general.
I think a sense of engagement is great. I think we always, technology moves so fast, and there's always so much talk about different things. So for me, it's just getting an engagement and perspective from different fields, different people, whether it's understanding technology at a policy level and also understanding technology at a behavioral level and how it impacts our everyday lives and how we can also empower ourselves professionally, how businesses can empower themselves operationally as well. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible how fast technology moves and how much we have to keep up with it, no matter how resistant we can be. So I'm looking forward to just engaging with people's minds, people's thoughts, and understanding where people are, especially getting the perspectives from our African continent is also very key, and it's a special place for me as well. Understanding what our other markets are thinking, and how we can come together to just bring together all our innovations.
Nice. I mean that deserves a round of applause, you know? I mean not laughing, but definitely I'm just like clap, 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 you know? Well done, well done, well done. Um so yeah, I agree. I do think from my side, it's definitely also what I'm looking forward to is also just yeah, man, just to chat, you know. I think I've been in a way, it's more of a selfish. MoloMolo TikTok is a very selfish thing for me because I think African tech stories deals with a lot of heavy stuff. I'm really surprised that we've been able to get close to, I think on YouTube about 360 subscribers, and I think on yeah, I mean overall, whether you look at all social media, I think we're sitting just shy of 1,000 people following the podcast. I'm really surprised because we talk about some really, really deep stuff, you know, and it's really exciting to see that. I think my view was never to if I think about it, it's a lot of emotional investment. But I'm really hoping that this
Yes.
Mono Mono Tech Talk will be very light and but still very, you know, kind of hitting home, but hopefully in a lighter way where you and I get to kind of, you know, interview different people, speak about topics, bring them up, you know, and just really just have a bit of a conversation on the things that are close to our hearts, but also just are interesting, right? I think also really keeping it light, low key on interesting topics that maybe I'm not sure about, you know, in terms of technical communication or journalism and how tech is evolving there and vice versa on my side. So,
Yeah.
what is kind of the first thing that comes to mind when you think about technology? What would you say?
I'd say innovation.
Okay.
So I'd say anything that is invented or innovated to operate better than it did before. I'd
Mm-hmm.
say that's technology. Then I would apply it to everything, to medicine, to the world of arts, to writing. Yeah, and most recently to replacing our thinking with ChatGPT, but that's a topic
Ish,
for another day.
ChatGPT. How do you feel about ChatGPT, Anele? No, come on, be real with me. What's your feeling? Tell me.
Look, I think when it comes to AI, I think a much bigger conversation has to take place. And I think those chapters are starting to open now because we're starting to look at AI, the boundaries, but we're also starting to look at the human condition and just how lonely we are as people and how much we're depending, and finding safety in sharing our thinking with AI. And for me, I think it's very important that we understand how far we can take that as human beings, how real it is, how much it impacts our lives. Because it's one thing to put your thoughts about a strategy on ChatGPT. It's another thing to tell ChatGPT what you're going through from the inside, you know, and not
Hmm.
talk to a real therapist.
Hmm.
So I think there's a lot of unpacking to be done there. I was actually watching a news article, a news report this morning about AI assisted suicide and how it's becoming such a topic in the world of
That's
of AI and
crazy.
technology. Exactly, it's wild. So I think it's going to open up a lot of chapters and opportunities to discuss. But I think it is something we should watch very closely. I think it is something we should understand for our own empowerments, our own operational efficiencies. But I don't know if you've seen the series Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. Remind me, it's on Netflix, right?
Yes, and it just talks about this near futuristic concept that in as much as human beings can invent things to better and innovate certain areas of our lives, somehow those machines and those things could become worse off for us than best for us because ultimately we should be operating at a human level.
Mm-hmm.
But human beings are too clever for their own creation. So that's what I
Yeah.
think about AI. I think it's something we should watch closely. I think it is helpful. I think if we understand it for the operational benefits it gives our business, then that's incredible. But I think we should watch it closely and not use it to replace basic human emotion and basic human engagements
Mm.
as well.
Yeah, you make such good points, man. To be honest, I mean, of course, as an engineer, you try and understand the principle behind the things you use, right? So that's one of the gifts I always say of embracing engineering. I think not everybody embraces engineering, even though they're engineers, but engineering is an incredible flex because it's not about the end product, it's about kind of the mindset that gets built around how you look at life. So AI is a tool for an engineer, for one who understands how to engineer things. AI is a tool. And I tend to break down AI and its use or misuse in like how you prepare for an exam, for a math exam, when they say no calculators allowed.
Yeah.
um and yet you've practiced all this time with a
Yeah.
calculator,
Yeah.
and your mindset around, oh my word, I can't remember this, or how do I
Mm,
calculate this, or man, if I had a calculator I know I would be, is kind of how I picture AI. Of course, to a much deeper level, like you said, right? It's more than just a calculator. It really is, because it's not kind of a very analog, way. It's really taking its own shape. That it's really almost, how can I say, an extension of our thoughts, which is crazy.
yeah.
It can have repercussions, and but at the same time, this is what I think it should almost become mandatory to have AI ethics as a course from a primary school,
Yeah.
10, 11 years old. Like, AI is here, and this is what AI is,
Yeah.
and this is what AI isn't. Almost
Yeah.
like I mean, I've got a 10-year old, and his name is Samson, and now we are getting to that stage where we have to talk about the birds and the bees,
Yes.
um and I'm like, man, that is exactly the same age where we should be talking about what AI is and what AI isn't,
Yeah.
because this is where kind of the neural network of understanding or
Mm,
misunderstanding how
mm,
AI will affect you through the rest of your life starts
yeah.
now. Just like
Yeah.
puberty will
Yeah.
affect you if it's misunderstood in a really big way,
Mm,
if you make stupid mistakes.
yeah.
And that's something that I've been thinking a lot about. I'm like, man, I think this is serious. Like, it should be a conversation with people who are 10, 11, because AI is
Mm,
now here with them,
mm, and not only 10 and
alongside them.
11, but
Yeah.
also uh, our seniors and our boards. I mean, we have to train them at that intermediate level to say this is what AI is, this is how it impacts your business, and this is how you need to bring in ethics, and this is how you deal with situations where there are certain AI infringements, and this is how you come up with AI policies for the business so that we don't
Mm-hmm.
abuse AI
Mm-hmm.
and find our data all over the place, for example. So I think at every level, like you say, at a kid's level, but also at a very senior level, we need to really take the hands of our board members and senior leadership and show them the way.
No, I agree. I think one thing that now let me just ask you the one thing that I've been wondering about is what is your understanding of, if I would say, what is your understanding of technology when it comes to just the ability to meet people genuinely, right? A genuine kind of connection. What would you say technology is for you? How does that helped you or disabled that?
I think genuine is a very fluid word,
Okay.
but I think AI is only as genuine as the prompts that you put in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a mirror of your own thoughts and what you're curious about with the world, because that's where you become empowered. Genuineness, I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think it's a mirror of who we are and our curiosities, and that's as far as it goes at a human level.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I do think, I mean, of course, I'm not a very good example of someone who genuinely needs to make connections in different ways, mainly because of how long I've been in a stable marriage. That's one, but also how long I've been in the same kind of industry for almost 2 decades.
Yeah,
Um, in a way, and only now do I see the power of networking and so forth. But I do find it difficult. I do find it that it's becoming less and less. Um, Basically, we I find that people are not as ready to pause and introspect, because now you are able to just ask someone else or something else about what you should do. Uh,
yeah,
and to your point, even to the point of what feeling should I have at this particular time, as opposed to the genuine humanness that one should rely on, that makes you you.
yeah,
And AI cannot replace that. It can try, but it will always work from a reference that is never unique, which is so I do think I've that's something that I've been thinking about. It's like, okay, wow, who am I meeting at this point in time? Is this? And of course, I kind of, because I strive to be as genuine as possible. Genuine people know how to know when someone else is genuine. I think it's quite clear. But at the same time, you also sometimes are a bit fooled. That's, oh, okay, I didn't see this coming at
yeah.
all. But no, man, this is what I'm looking for. This is MoloMolo Tech Talk. This is the conversation that we'll be having. Of course, as some of you might not know, and I'll put it up on the. I think we have it here. I think we definitely have a couple of things to just give everybody aware. So as I said, MoloMolo Tech Talk will be running hopefully every Friday, 6 o'clock GMT +2, so which is essentially Central African time, and for about hopefully 20 minutes. If you want to, we will be taking questions from people who will be registering and sending us a direct email to hello@molomolotech.com. And of course, there's a QR code that you'll be able to join the MoloMolo Tech community just to keep up to date with the latest news. This has been really, really exciting.
Yeah.
Anele, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel like 20 minutes is too short. You were right.
I told you. I told you. But I also think that 20 minutes is just enough for a cup of coffee between friends, and you just listen to something about a topic that you can reflect on. And of course, hopefully, people send in questions as we go along. But this again was a really, really amazing pilot and start. Again, I am really excited for MoloMolo Tech Talk, what it will bring in the future. I am Dr. PK. This was again another amazing start to hopefully a brand new journey, which will be with my co-host
I'm Anele,
Anele.
and
Exactly, and so really exciting. Um, I'm Dr. PK. This
and I'm
was
Anele.
this was another amazing episode of MoloMolo Tech Talk. Until next time, guys. Ciao.
Bye.